You grab the salt shaker and sprinkle it over your meal without even thinking about it. The entire action takes less than 2 seconds. But that intense craving you feel for salty food isn't just a simple flavor preference. It is a primal, biological instruction programmed into your nervous system long before Homo sapiens even existed. For over 300,000 years, our ancient ancestors couldn't just buy, mine, or store salt. They lived in a world where sodium was incredibly difficult to find, yet absolutely mandatory for survival. Your body strictly needs sodium for your heart to pump, your neurons to fire signals, and your muscles to contract. Without it, you can die in a matter of days. Because of this, human biology developed a sharp, specific alarm system, a craving designed to force you to find sodium at all costs. But how did ancient humans find something they couldn't mine? They watched the animals. Every large herbivore instinctively seeks out sodium. Early humans watched elephants in Kenya travel dozens of kilometers to chip salt-laced rock from mountain caves with their tusks. And they saw gorillas in the Congo Basin eating sodium-rich river clay. Our ancestors simply followed the herds to these hidden mineral springs and ate the whitish, mineral-rich clay right off the ground, just to stay alive. However, regions like the East African Rift Valley were naturally poor in sodium, creating a constant, low-grade background stress for early humans, according to anthropologist Timothy Johns. Because salt was so rare and valuable, early human foraging groups shared it widely and selflessly to ensure the survival of the entire tribe, as noted by anthropologist Sarah Blaffer-Hrdy. If they didn't find a salt lick, ancient hunter-gatherers got their sodium directly from the meat and organs of wild animals. For example, the modern Hadza people of Tanzania and the Kung San of the Kalahari consume about 690 milligrams of sodium a day simply through their natural, unprocessed diet. Ironically, that is the exact amount modern cardiologists recommend for a healthy heart today. So why do we need salt shakers now? Because of agriculture. When humans settled down and began eating domesticated grains like wheat, barley, millet, and rice, our natural sodium intake completely collapsed. Grain has almost zero sodium. According to anthropologist Mark Nathan Cohen, this dietary shift to agriculture caused widespread nutritional deficiencies and worsened overall human health. Suddenly, human bodies were starving for sodium, and finding salt became a literal matter of life or death. To survive this crisis, humans had to invent a way to manufacture it. Around 6000 BCE, in a Neolithic village called Lunca in modern-day Romania, people began systematically boiling natural brine in ceramic pots over fires to extract white salt crystals. This wasn't a one-off event. The exact same highly organized salt production was independently invented around the same time in China and Peru. Once we figured out how to extract it, salt stopped being just a mineral and became the ultimate currency of power. Roman soldiers were partially paid in salt, which is literally where the word salary comes from. Ancient Egyptians used it to mummify their dead. Massive salt trade routes crossed the Sahara Desert, where slabs of salt were frequently traded weight for weight with pure gold, simply because agricultural societies desperately needed it to survive. Controlling salt meant controlling the population. The brutal French salt tax, known as the gabelle, fueled the fury of the French Revolution, and Mahatma Gandhi famously led the 1930s Salt March to protest the British colonial taxation on this life-saving mineral. Today, thanks to industrial mining and global shipping, salt has become one of the cheapest and most abundant products on Earth. The average modern person consumes about 3,400 milligrams of sodium a day, nearly 5 times the natural evolutionary amount, because it is pre-added to almost all processed food. But here's the wild part. Your biological craving never turned off. Neuroscientists like Wolfgang Lauscher have discovered that consuming salt floods your brain's reward pathways with dopamine, mirroring the exact mechanisms of addiction. Your brain still thinks you are wandering the prehistoric savanna, rewarding you for finding a rare, life-saving treasure. You are running ancient, 300,000-year-old survival software in a modern world of absolute abundance, desperately answering an alarm that never needed to ring again.